Welcome back to another episode of Hey Girl Hey, Life Through the Lens of Female Friendship. I'm your host, Becky Kessler Sykes, and this is the 12th and final episode of the first season of Hey Girl Hey, if you can believe it. It's flown by. It's been a wild adventure. We're going to take a little mini break and come back in early 2026. Also, listen for the end of this episode. We have a big announcement for the Hey Girl Hey brand, so stay tuned for that. Today's guest, we have a good one. She's not only wildly talented, but also one of the coolest women I know. If you've seen Hustle and Flow, Black Snake Moan, Footloose, Eve's Bayou, you have seen her work. She's also got a new Oscar buzz film coming out Christmas Day called Song Sung Blue. Amy Vincent, award-winning director of photography, is in the house, y'all. Amy is a dog lover, a former punk era princess, vintage Porsche driving badass, and on top of all that, we met in a yoga teacher training back in 2010 because, of course, the universe would bring someone as awesome as you are into my orbit. Amy, welcome. Hey, girl, hey.
Thank you, Becky. What an intro. Wow. Such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you. I know you have been all over the country, all over the world. You've recently been on a press tour for Song Sung Blue. You've been in Poland. You've been in New York. You were recently on the cover of, what is it called?
American Cinematographer Magazine. December 2025.
So you have been busy, and we so appreciate you taking a little stop here on Hey Girl Hey to talk about your work in the film industry.
Well, thanks for inviting me, Becky. It's an honor and a joy to be here with a real friend. And it has been a little bit of whirlwind, so it's nice to be able to just sit and chat.
Yeah, we're just taking a breath and catching up. That's the joy of this project. Is it's an excuse to get together with my girlfriends and catch up on the business. We're going to start at the beginning, if you don't mind. I would love to hear, how did you first fall in love with filmmaking, and what set you on the journey to becoming a director of photography?
Well, I was originally on a path to become a veterinarian. I was in a pre-med program at UC Santa Cruz. I got a work-study job in the theater in the Performing Arts Center, and I was hanging lights and had a crescent wrench in my back pocket, and it all just kind of clicked. So my lighting journey began in the theater, and I still wish I'd gotten that veterinary degree, but that's another story. So my beginnings were in the theater arts major at UC Santa Cruz. We also had to make a film, and I sort of fell in love with the magic of photochemistry, and we're talking 1980s.
So very different.
Yeah. Very different time. One of the things that's great about the movie we have coming out is that I got to go back to my theater roots for the big finale performance and design for live performance. So that was really kind of a full circle moment.
That's super cool. I cannot wait to see it. I'm so psyched.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, what were those early days like for you in the business, and who were your mentors?
When I entered the film industry, I came in the post-production world. I was an assistant sound editor, mostly because that was what my friends were doing and I could get a job. But I was always sort of longing to be in the camera department. And when I finally got an opportunity to start training in camera, a very prominent figure, John Lindley, ASC, he took me in and embraced me and gave me lots to do. And, I had no idea that it was a male dominated field. I think if I had known, I probably would have wanted it even more. I went without an acknowledgement to myself or otherwise that I was entering a male dominated field, and there were definitely challenges in there. And I'm the third girl of four of a father who really wanted to have boys, so I got taught how to do all the gun shooting, motorcycle riding sort of stuff there. So it seemed absolutely natural that I could go and have a technical career in camera with the background that I had. And I think in the time that I came up, women in the camera department were still quite rare. And instead of that being a liability, I think I turned it into something that made me special. And, there were lots of forward thinking people who wanted to help. And I think a big part of my journey today is to make that world a better place and an easier place for women to excel creatively and professionally.
We love our males, but, we're all about bringing the women up here on Hey Girl Hey.
We are. And, I love to have a gender balanced set. I love a mixed set. I'm not an all girls only kind of thing. I think there's really healthy collaboration happens with inclusivity. And inclusivity means we don't push the men out. We gather and we find balance.
I think that's such a great point because a lot of times when you're trying to nudge the needle for change, the right to vote or equal pay or whatever the things have been historically, right? It's this big swing towards all women. And that's really important when you're seeking change. But the balance and having both genders equally represented is really the sweet spot where we would like to be.
I think sometimes it takes a couple of laps before it settles.
How are you bringing along the next generation of women DPs?
Well, I think a big part of it is if you see it, you can be it. And so I'm very forward facing. I really like to share my experience. I almost always have a mentor with me on set. I'm very flattered by the fact that there's a really long line and they come from all over the place.
Wow.
I also am an artist in residence at Loyola Marymount University School of Film and Television. I'm like listing a resume here, but
no, it's fascinating.
But I think that's a really important part of what informs my work now. It's a feeling of being of service. I've learned a lot about being of service and trying to leave the world a better place through my own sobriety program. Almost 14 years now. Holy smokes.
My husband is 30 years tomorrow. Yeah, so sober and the service piece, they go hand in hand. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, and I think that when you recognize how valuable mentorship is in the arts and being able to clear a path for young filmmakers, that's my vehicle. But I think it's an overall sort of worldview that has absolutely been developed for me, both through my work as part of the camera crew. You can't make a movie by yourself. It's a pretty extraordinary time right now to be looking forward, where we've got some momentum in Los Angeles to rebuild. The film industry has been under a lot of duress, between COVID and then strikes and then work stoppages and shortages. And we now have some legislation in place to bring more tax incentives to Los Angeles and make it more desirable to film. And I'm looking at 2026 with a lot of optimism. And that's something I credit my time with the young filmmakers, is keeping the optimism alive, because there's nothing like being able to spread a little hope. And I mean that so sincerely. I have young people's parents and young people themselves really concerned about the state of the industry, but I choose to believe we're on a trajectory up and forward for 2026. You're going to see a lot more production in LA and a lot more opportunity for the young people that we're bringing up.
That's amazing. I know in the arc of our friendship over the last 15 years, it has been a real journey that you've been on in the industry. I mean, it's all droughts and rains. And I am so glad that you're in a rainy season now. I'm just absolutely thrilled for you.
When your friends see you go through the wild pendulum swings of freelance career in the arts, it means everything to me that you've stayed by my side no matter how high or low this stuff gets. And being in film production is not necessarily the most family friendly profession. It's long work hours, it's a lot of location travel. And to always be able to come home to my friend Becky has meant everything to me. And I just want to say that I learned a lot from you at a point in our friendship where I was very focused on work, and you were able to clearly let me know that you just needed a little bit. And it really changed the way our friendship worked. And that was such a huge lesson for me. So don't let your friends slip away. Even though you're really busy on set, you always got time to keep in touch. But
that's exactly right.
I'm crying a little bit when I say that, because that was a very powerful lesson for me. And I got it from you.
Well, I remember you would go on location for long periods of time, as you just mentioned as a theme in your industry. And when you would go, I wouldn't hear from you for months and months and months. And then you'd come back and it'd be like, hey, Becky K, let's go do this. And it was just simply, I want to do that, but I also want to have at least a tether while you're gone.
Yeah.
Because even when we're busy, we got to make time for our girlfriends and the people that we love.
We're all obsessive artists and we get very, very dedicated in our work. The big project of life includes a lot of people, and you can't let them out of your energy sphere. And I love you so much for that.
Right on. I love you too. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about your films. For those that are familiar with your work, you have such a signature aesthetic. It's that warm, gritty, sweaty, southern lived in look that you're famous for. When I think of Hustle and Flow or Eve's Bayou, the way the light catches the sweat on skin and like it just has a real feel to it. I'm curious where that came from, if it's actually rooted in the South itself or in music, or what influenced that aesthetic.
Wow. I think I like to think that I can adjust that aesthetic to any number of different worlds. But I do have to say, I think it comes from an appreciation of photochemistry, shooting on film, you know. I think it comes a lot from when I met Craig Brewer, I knew I'd met a primary collaborator, and we had the benefit of working and being inspired by William Eggleston, the photographer. He lives in Memphis, and he was a huge reference for Craig and I on Hustle and Flow. Colors, contrast, you know, he was came to his rise in the 70s. He was very well known for his color work. He still is. So I would credit that. I would also credit that Craig and I kind of grew up together in a creative and collaborative sense. You know, I'd already done Eve's Bayou and a couple of other films, but Hustle and Flow was where I think a shared taste started to develop with Craig and I, because a large part of my work has been done in collaboration with Craig. I do have things that I really like and I think is really effective in visual storytelling, and a lot of it is a color discipline. And I think hopefully in Song Sung Blue, you see a 1990s Milwaukee version.
I think I will. So we are headed in to talk about Song Sung Blue right now. So you've already mentioned screenwriter and director Craig Brewer.
If I may, that screenplay was based on a documentary film of the same name, Song Sung Blue, directed by Greg Coase, which is available on YouTube.
So you and Craig Brewer have made a number of films together: Hustle and Flow, Black Snake Moan, and the upcoming release of Song Sung Blue, starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. How does it feel to be back on that team, and what makes that creative partnership so special?
You know, Craig creates a real family style vibe on set, and to be working with him, I think we're back to all the best things about our collaboration. Over 20 years, we haven't done every project together, but I think both of us have lived some life. And I think we've hurt people and other people have hurt us, and we've loved people and we've done other work, and we come back together as two humans at a place in life where this story of love transcending tragedy and trauma, and music as a root source of collaboration and inspiration. I think we were both really ready to come back together, and it really shows in the work. I feel like we came to this project so joyful to be collaborating. Now sometimes I feel like I created a monster because I take care of a lot of stuff. but it's you know, recognizing when you found that real gold in the movie industry, which is finding the people that you share collaborative instincts with and creative instincts, and you bring this visual storytelling language to the screen together. Finding those people is the gold, and to come back together with Craig with so much respect, and both of us having gone off and worked with other people, coming back and bringing that all together with this beautiful story. Top that with a couple of actors of the movie star caliber, like
The performances look insane. I
Kate.
cannot wait.
The entire production was an act of love. I guess we never took that for granted. You know, Craig and I now ride to work together every day at like 5:30 in the morning. They pick me up first and then get him. We were commuting deep into New Jersey, so we made really good use of that time, but it became invaluable to us. You know, I was able to really sort of hone in on what Craig needs from me. Craig's an instinctual thinker, he's an improvisational thinker. I resonate with Craig's writing so much, and I use that as a platform of absolute support
Mm.
and respect. And then it's my job to keep his instinctual and improvisational creativity supported with all the stuff. Now I have to do, he says, oh, I don't do shot lists. Well, I do. But, you know, it's a real honor and a privilege to be in support of a director who makes stories about people who dream beyond their means.
Mm.
And therein lies this sort of ultimate level of respect and service. So it's all connected, right?
Yeah.
And
Collaboration is so key. You got to find your people, your partner, whatever that looks like, that not only you speak the same language, and that has to be learned over time, as you've just pointed out, but also that you're constantly like holding each other up, pulling out the best of each other. It's a real marriage, kind of.
yeah,
Yeah. Can you give us back of a napkin preview of Song Sung Blue? What's the story about?
the story is about two tribute musicians in the 90s in Milwaukee, based on the real life story of Mike and Claire Sardina. He was a Neil Diamond impersonator. She was a Patsy Cline cover girl.
Mm.
And they come together, and it's about family, it's about love,
And it's about music.
and it's about music.
Kate Hudson, I've been kind of following her playing shows and releasing music for the first time in the last couple of years. And then Hugh Jackman, Broadway, we know already that he's got this amazing, powerful voice as a singer songwriter. I'm like into the music part of it.
I hope you love it.
I'm gonna love it, Amy. I'm obsessed with just the trailer. I cried in the trailer.
I would say Neil Diamond's music is the backdrop of the Mike and Claire Sardina love story. And who doesn't love a little Neil Diamond? After you see the movie, I want to know what your favorite music number is and see if it aligns with mine, because there are a lot of them, and my favorite has remained the same.
Okay. Well, we don't want to do any spoilers. We're not monsters here at Hey Girl Hey. So, but can you give us any like little tidbits or memories from filming that you think might be fun for our listeners?
I have to tell you that one of the biggest treats of this movie is being together with Scott Bomar, who's Craig's composer. He was the composer on Hustle and Flow, Black Saint Moon, Footloose.
Even though this is Neil Diamond music, there's been like original score mixed
Oh,
in with
their
that?
arrangements, you know, it's Neil Diamond music, but the vocals are all done
Right.
by Kate and Hugh, and the arrangements, they've been modernized and arranged to fit the narrative storytelling.
Very
But to be able to be in this little recording studio in New Jersey when Hugh and Kate were first building their relationship, they had just met each other. I mean, they both knew who each other was and that they were both going to be cast. It was actually Hugh who called Craig and said, you got to turn on Kate Hudson's on TV right now. I think she's Claire.
Oh, wow.
I got to sit in the initial recordings of the vocal tracks and just be able to be like a fly on the wall. We did the same thing on Hustle and Flow, though. When I go back thinking of hanging out with Juicy J and 3-6 Mafia and Craig and Al Capone in the scrappy studios in Memphis. We also went to some strip clubs, but don't tell anyone. But seeing Hugh and Kate actually informed a lot of the staging and blocking that we did in the two early music numbers. You'll see it when you see the movie, but I based a lot of the staging of where the camera is in relation to where they are based on seeing their physicality in the rehearsal, in the laying down the vocal tracks in the studio. So
Nice.
it was really special. And I think that the really, really special things that happened were that Claire Sardina was able to come with her daughter Rachel, who Ella Anderson is a young actress who plays the real life Rachel. And Rachel and Claire came to set. We were about halfway through the movie and they came to set. They stayed for a couple of weeks. And can you imagine seeing
your story on the big screen?
Your story on the big screen and seeing Hugh Jackman playing your husband
and Kate Hudson playing you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Claire Sardina is one amazing woman. She was at the premiere last week in New York, and that was amazing.
That's awesome. Sounds like a big happy family, and that it was such a great experience with Song Sung Blue. We cannot wait to see it. It comes out Christmas Day, everybody. You do not want to miss this movie, and there's all kinds of buzz about award season, and I'm just saying.
For Hugh and Kate and the other actors, to do their work, and for Kate to be getting this incredible recognition that she's getting. I want Hugh to get some too. He's so amazing. And he's such a generous, kind, courageous, beautiful man. And it's not because he gave everybody on the crew lottery tickets every Friday. I got $10 out of that. And when you have the center of a set come from the heart, the way Craig Brewer works from the heart, Hugh and Kate both work from the heart.
And you work from the heart.
I'll admit it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one to top. There's a part of me that wants to stay in Song Sung Blue because it's been a dream. It really has. It's been an absolute dream to be back together with Craig. It's like shooting for my little brother.
Oh.
And to be with Hugh and Kate and to have that script and to be able to base the visual storytelling on so much rigorous research available and accessible to us through Greg Coe's documentary. Truly extraordinary.
Sounds like it.
I don't know what, there's that thing in the whole 12-step program about gratitude and service. I could not feel more grateful right now.
Oh.
And I'm really grateful to be here with you.
I'm grateful for it too. Thank you so much for your generosity and conversation today and making the stop on your press tour with our little podcast, Hey Girl Hey. I thank you for your friendship and just everything that you've brought to my life. So before I let you go, I do have a little rapid fire signature question series that I ask all of my guests. Name a place on your travel bucket list.
Tahiti.
Tahiti, great. On or lights off?
Depends on the color and softness of the light now, doesn't it?
Spoken like a true DP. Okay, what TV show title describes your life currently?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to say Task.
Chocolate chip cookies or potato chips?
Chocolate chip cookies. You know that.
Of course, I know it. Everyone says chocolate chip cookies. What's a song that's sure to get you on the dance floor?
Sweet Caroline.
Bum, 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 bum. Good times never seem so good. That'll get anybody on the dance floor. Who would you pick as your road trip buddy?
You.
Thank you. Everybody says me. I think I put people on the spot.
I think you do, but I would also say my two beautiful dogs, Ruby and Oso.
We got to
best
bring the
road
pups.
trip buddies. They've been everywhere with me.
That's amazing. Okay, well, thank you so much. And as promised, we have a big announcement here on the final episode for the first season of Hey Girl Hey. Hey Girl Hey is expanding the brand to Hey Girl Hey Coaching. It's available now. Coaching sessions are great for holiday gifts, so please check out heygirlheycoaching.com. I'm going to link that in our YouTube channel. Hey Girl Hey podcast is going to be having a whole new roster of guests and new episodes in 2026, so we'll see you back here very soon. Happy holidays, everybody. Bye.
Happy holidays.